Welcome to Grip Breaker Podcast,
where we talk about everything grappling.
where we ask the pros how to improve the ground.
Where we throw down the real issues surrounding the grappling world. Where we find out why people even do this crazy sport.
Welcome to the Grip Breaker Podcast, where grapplers come to philosophize.
Hey guys, welcome to the Grip Breaker Podcast Show with your host Giovanni.
And Sonny?
And today we are going to go over gym ownership, okay? Sonny here, if you guys don't know, has owned gyms before and owns one currently. So he's going to be the expert today on today's topic. So Sonny, give us a little bit of your background story.
Okay, well, right now, actually, I own Alliance Yucaipa, Alliance Jiu-Jitsu in Yucaipa.
Yeah?
Yeah, so I owned a couple of academies before. I used to own 2 academies, and then recently sold one. Well, not recently, about a couple of years ago, sold one, and then I just kept one academy. Yeah.
And when did you start jiu-jitsu?
Jiu-Jitsu, well, I started Jiu-Jitsu when I was younger. I was like maybe 15, 20 years ago, but not serious.
Not serious?
Not serious. Like, we just rolling, go to classes, but miss a couple of months and, it's not really serious about jiu-jitsu.
Where'd you start?
Well, I was in the Philippines during the time.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was in the Philippines during the time, and I was spending time there in Manila, and we had some friends that were actually do jiu-jitsu, so they kind of invited me.
Yeah.
And then there was an MMA gym there that I went to, and they had jiu-jitsu, and then, I just kind of rolled with them, yeah.
Okay. And then when did you come to the United States to do jiu-jitsu?
15 years ago.
15 years ago.
So it's just the start, and then,
Started in the Philippines,
Yeah.
came over here.
Yeah.
What was the first gym you joined when you came out here?
The first gym was actually Millennia. Yes.
Where at?
Yes, in Rancho Cucamonga.
Okay, yeah, I know where that one's at, yeah.
Yes. With
Famous gym, a lot of
Romy,
fighters from there, guys.
Yeah, with Steven Martinez. You
Yeah.
know, I've known Steven since he was a brown belt, actually. So
Yeah.
I was, I admired the dude, so I went to his classes a lot, so during the time. Yes,
Yeah.
during the time, just so like a long time ago. Maybe 14, 15 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, and if you guys don't know, Millennia produced a lot of fighters. I think you got Tatiana Suarez out of there. Lorenz Larkins used to fight there. And I think Steve created Level Black?
No.
One of his students?
I think it's Clay.
Clay started Level Black. Okay. But yeah, man, it's a well-known gym.
Yeah.
So you started there and...
Yes, I started there, and then I was doing a little bit of jiu-jitsu, and I was doing I was going to the striking class too, but it was too far because I live in Yucaipa, so it's too far of a drive, and then I had a job over there in Cabazon, going to Palm Springs, so it's too far to drive to Millennia, and that's why I just stopped going there, try to find a spot here. So.
What was the next spot you found?
The next spot was actually it was years ago. They called it Blood Spiller, and then that was just for a little bit, and then I went to the Gracie like that. So.
And then you were with Gracie for a lot of years, right?
For a lot of years, yes, I was with Gracie Maita until brown belt actually.
So brown belt.
Until brown belt, yeah.
And then you switched to Alliance.
And then such
And then Alliance gave you your black belt.
And yes, Alliance gave me a black belt. Yeah.
Now, when did you open the gym?
I opened the gym, which actually I opened a Gracie Maita gym before.
First, okay.
The very first one. I opened 2000. It was during COVID.
So 2020,
December of 2020.
Okay.
Right? So that was the very first the very first gym, the very first time that I opened my doors to business. Actually, it was the whole world was shut down.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of opened the gym during that time. So.
And what made you want to open a gym?
Actually, it's weird because I didn't even have that in my plans. Before.
Yeah.
It was because I was training jiu-jitsu, and I kind of loved jiu-jitsu. But the reason why I actually did jiu-jitsu seriously is because, I did events before. I did events for, I used to produce concerts. I used to produce events for leadership, business events and all that stuff. And I still do. And I took a couple of NBA players to the Philippines. I took a couple. We had events there for with 3 islands, because Philippines is actually composed of islands and not states.
Yeah.
So it's for
Yeah, a lot of
people that don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's composed of islands and not states. So basically, we did 3 islands there, which is Guimaras Island, Iloilo Island, and Negros Island.
Necklace Island. Where you from?
Where
Okay.
technically my family is from.
Yeah.
And basically we did all that. And during the time that I did the events, it was like we were very successful, because we had a lot of people come to the event, and plus it's a basketball event. So
Yeah.
Filipinos are very good in basketball.
Okay.
So there was one night about when we were there, we finished with the whole event. There was one night I was just hanging out with a couple of politicians over there. We were just talking, and then there was one cop who actually went to our table while we were just talking in the hotel. Shout out to El Fisher Hotel,
Fisher, okay.
JB Mapa. The owner is a good friend of mine. So
All right.
I'm gonna have to
Give him a shout out.
give him a shout out. Yeah.
Go visit that hotel, guys.
Yes, El Fisher in Bacolod City. Yeah.
All right.
Right. So, I was sitting there with a couple of politician friends, and then there was a cop who came to our table, and then he said, "Hey, man, are you the guy who actually brought in the NBA players?" I said, "Yeah." So they said, "Well, because the NBA players were actually also staying in the hotel during the time." So
Yeah.
basically they said, "Hey, man, there's somebody who wants to meet you." And then we kind of talked, and then I said, "All right, let's go." So I went to the table, and it was actually a general,
Of the Philippine Army.
no, he was a cop. He was the head.
General of the police force.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he said, we talked a little bit. He said, "What do you do? You do events, blah blah blah, and all that." And he said, "Hey man, if you have events in the future or whatever it is, give me a call if I go to the States someday." I told him, "Hey, if you go to California, Southern California specifically, man, I'll drive you around and stuff like that." So
Yeah.
that was in the conversation. He said, "Hey, give me his card," and he said, "Hey, call me if you have events, right?"
Yeah.
So I was flying back, going home here. And during the flight, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I can't even sleep," because now I'm thinking, my mind is like thinking, what should I do for events the following year or years to come? So I was like always, just to remind you, I was not doing jiu-jitsu yet, right? So I was like thinking of events. So I said, soccer, nope, it's big in Asia. Basketball, I just did it. So I said, no. Baseball, big in Japan, not really big in the Philippines.
Okay.
So, I was thinking about those things, and I said, "Oh, martial arts." But Philippines already has martial arts. Taekwondo is very big in the Philippines.
The knife fighting.
Yeah, the knife fighting,
Yeah.
the arnis and eskrima,
Yeah.
all that stuff is already there. So I said, jiu-jitsu is big in the Philippines, but not as big as the other martial arts.
Yeah.
So, well, it's getting bigger now, but during fact, 15 years ago,
It wasn't that big. Yeah.
or 10 years ago.
Probably the same
So-
in the United States. It's been getting big in the last 10 years, I'd say.
Yeah. So basically, I was like thinking, okay, I'll try this out, right? I'll try jiu-jitsu, right? I'll say I'll join jiu-jitsu. So that's why I joined jiu-jitsu, and
Mhm.
found out very quickly that it's a different sport. You got choked out in the middle. Oh my
Yeah.
god! Like,
Humbling for everybody.
Yeah.
Barely starts, so stay in there, guys. Yeah, it gets better.
Yeah. So basically, that's how it started. And then talked to my wife, and I told her, like, I've done this before, But now, if I'm really taking it seriously, like I'm really into it, like it changes you, right? It
Mhm.
changes you. But even though you've trained before, if you just go once in a while, it's just okay. This is just
You're not
tap
committed.
out. You're
Yeah.
not committed. Now, when you're trying to commit to it, you find out that you get humbled by a 16-year-old kid.
Yeah.
You know, even women just stop you out. You know,
Yeah.
so like wow, this is really humbling. So um, I decided to kind of have that mindset that I'm going to college. So because nobody's going to believe me anyway, if you're a white belt, doesn't know what you're doing, how can you do seminars to teach?
Yeah.
You know, to have an event for specifically for jiu-jitsu if you don't really know what you're doing and you're a white belt, nobody's gonna really like respect you for that, right? So
Yeah.
I said I'm gonna go to college. I'm gonna dedicate to jiu-jitsu. That was my mindset, so that I could turn maybe purple belt and then I could propose for a seminar.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah. So because I had a contact with that, yeah. So basically, I did that, and to cut the long story short, I trained. When I turned blue belt, I trained 3 times a day. That was already in the Gracie, so like I trained 3 times a day. It was crazy because like trained 3 times a day, and I still trained on a Sunday because we had one class on a Sunday, and then basically I turned purple belt. No, when I was a blue belt, I met Hoyler Gracie. You know, I met him, and then we in a seminar, and then we kind of talked about like, oh man, like seminars and stuff like that. But there was another black belt that kind of told me, hey, why don't you just open a gym? So that's the story.
That's how you got into opening.
Yes, that's the story. You know, so it was never a plan. It was just kind of like shifted that in that direction.
Yeah.
Shifted it there.
You had different plans, and then the doors just open.
Yes, because I wanted to do seminars. Like I said, I wanted to do events.
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu seminars, and I wanted to take it to the Philippines. I mean, that was the initial plan.
Yeah.
And then it kind of turned into like, okay, there's an opportunity for a gym. So I had to study it too. You know, I had to study how to manage a gym, how to start a gym, I had to study all that because it kind of like just shifted in that direction.
So what are the steps to owning a gym?
Well, first of all, you would need an instructor. Right?
Instructor, of course. Yeah.
Good instructor.
Yeah, you can't open a gym without a teacher.
Without a teacher,
Alright.
yeah. You would need a spot or a place to open.
So let's talk about venue.
Location. Yeah.
How hard is it to find a venue?
It's hard. It's easy, but it's hard.
Okay.
It's easy because you could find places, you could find a city to put it in or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But location is hard also is because the availability of the place that you're going to rent. You know, you have to see if there's foot traffic, if there's enough people that's there, you know,
Yeah.
population. You have to study all that. You
So
know,
you're looking, you're doing research.
yeah, you have to. It's,
Yeah.
it's a business.
Yeah.
You know, so like for example, when you're looking at a city, it's just like, you know, if one person wants to look for a house,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at least for me, I could say that if I look for a house where I'm going to live or I'm going to put myself or my family for the next 10, maybe 30 years, I need to kind of research the city I'm going to live in.
Yeah.
Because you're not just going to say, oh, this cheap house right there, I can afford it. And then I'm just going to buy it without even studying the city.
Yeah.
Like homeless, you know, like all that stuff. You have to study that because you're not going to put yourself into that city or, you know, you got to study the crime rate of the city, the homelessness of the city.
Where would you find these answers? Was it Google or
Yeah, you Google and then you kind of like research, you drive around too. You got to
check the spots out yourself physically? Yeah.
And, you know, you got to look at the news too, you know, basically everything. Because at least for me, like I said, before I jumped into it, I had to study the place. I had to kind of study the place. Not just because most guys would just Google what's the nearest to my work or whatever, you know, but it has to be that way.
So how long did it take you before you found a venue? Like how long when you started to decide I'm going to open a gym? to the point where you're like, this is the spot? How long did that?
Well, first I chose a couple of cities.
Okay.
Right? A couple of cities. So, I wanted to do it originally in Yucaipa.
Okay.
Right? I wanted to do it in Yucaipa. And I said, but like, what location in Yucaipa would a good jiu-jitsu academy be at? You know, so I said Yucaipa first, and then I said Loma Linda was one, and then,
Okay.
San Bernardino was one, Highland was one, Redlands was one. So just in the area.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do it in Beaumont. It was too close to my other team before.
Okay.
So I wanted to have that kind of respect during the time that I still trained with that specific team. So I wanted to do it somewhere else and stuff, you know. But this is America. You
Yeah.
know? This is United States, man. If you have a dream, go for it. You know?
Yeah.
So still have that respect, but you know, you can go, you open wherever you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I studied the area, and then I got a Redlands. You know, so it took me about maybe 6 months to really decide to have that, or
6
maybe
months.
6-7 months. Yes.
About half a
But
year.
and this is the funny thing. COVID happened.
Yeah.
So I had plans already. I had everything was, but then COVID happened. At the end of 2020, right?
Mhm.
It started to 2019, but 2020 is where everybody was wearing the mask.
Yeah.
And you know, so that happened, and it shut down. Like I think it was April or May that shut down.
Yeah.
Got shut down. So
Yeah.
I had the mats already in my garage.
Just waiting to set up somewhere.
Yeah, just waiting to set up somewhere. So when everything got shut down, what I did was I just put it in my garage and just rolled there with a couple of friends and say, hey man, you know, you believe in this blue stuff? You know, nah man, you know,
Come over, let's do some rolls.
Come
Yeah.
over, this roll and stuff like that. You know, that's how I believed, you know, back then. I'm like, come on, if you're gonna get a flu, you're gonna get a flu. If you're not gonna get a flu, you're not gonna get a flu.
And what many people don't know is like, and I think most people lived during that time period, and I don't know how many kids are gonna be watching this, but if there is somebody who's not from here or who's younger, during that time period, you really couldn't have your business running. Because if you had a business running, you got fined, right? They
Yes.
fine you or they shut you down by the city.
Yes.
So I remember even our wrestling team we had a wrestling silent. We had to go to gyms that would put stuff up on the window so you couldn't see inside.
Yeah.
My cousin's gym did the same thing. Like they fogged their windows and they would only turn on the backlight, so you wouldn't really be able to see that anybody was there. And they would train and like it's like being Christian during the Roman times. You
Yeah.
had to like go underground and
Yeah.
get it done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So that was kind of a weird year for
Yeah.
humanity.
Did that open more doors for venues,
Um,
or did it close more down?
for venue, they actually closed. You know, so
Was it harder to find a venue?
It was-
because of that?
harder because of the point that they already know that how are you going to survive. You know, like the landlord already knows that how are you going to survive with this, you know,
Yeah.
the business. That's been good for them, but like they always ask, how are you going to operate the business?
Yeah.
Because even like, I'm sure you remember, like even the restaurants were struggling.
Yep, restaurants were struggling. They had to do crazy
You know,
amendments.
even that's food. That's need. That's a need. You know, like
You had to eat with the mask on.
Yeah, it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever
Yeah.
heard. Like, you know, you go to the restaurant, you wear your mask, and you take up your mask,
Take a bite, put it
take
back
a
on.
bite, it was just ridiculous, and I didn't believe that.
Yeah,
For me, I didn't believe that. That's why I said, I'm still going to do jiu-jitsu, man. I'm still going to do jiu-jitsu in my house. So that's why.
I went to a wrestling boxing gym, and the guy there, I was just did a drop-in class, and the guy there made us wear masks while we grappled.
Yeah.
I'm like sweating through the mask. The mask is ripping as we're going. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Man.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
crazy how some people
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. And most people believe that.
Yeah.
And I was just one of the people that kind of didn't believe that stuff during the time. It's because, like, you know, if it's your time, it's your time, you know?
Yeah.
It's just, you take care of yourself, but, you know, wearing a mask during rolling,
Yeah.
it doesn't serve a purpose.
Yeah.
It's like even they were saying like, I'm wearing a mask because I love you. I'm
Yeah.
protecting you from me.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that was just kind of like, oh man.
For me, it's like, hey man, we let people smoke cigarettes, we let people drink alcohol.
Yeah.
If they know what the risks are, let them do it, right? And if they want to go out there and grapple and they're not worried about the repercussions,
Yeah.
let them go.
Yeah.
Hey, if it would have been like bubonic plague, people started dropping like flies, people would have stopped.
Yeah.
You know?
So
Yeah.
I didn't stop rolling,
Yeah.
and a couple of guys came. Couple of guys brought a couple of guys that were already bored with like the pandemic.
Yeah.
And then there were like 8 guys like in my garage rolling and stuff like that. Some called, hey man, we used to go to this academy and we just roll in your garage. And yeah man, let's go. So I was not charging anything. I was just having a good time rolling with brown belts, black belts, and during the time.
Yeah.
So we rolled, and then some guys would like ride and jog and ride a bike. Hey man, they were like, hey, you guys need jiu-jitsu, right? I said, come on, if you're not afraid to get a COVID, come over. So we kind of did that, and then maybe August, September, I was really thinking about it, and I was like looking at it. I said, I don't think that COVID would really last, because of my belief, would really last for like 2 more years or 3 more years. I'm sure that this is not gonna last that long.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, okay, it's not gonna last that long, and things are changing. If I open 2021, right? If I open 2021, I think everybody's gonna go right there, to train again, right?
They'll be like, here, first gym open, let's go.
Yeah, let's go. So that was my mindset, or the way I thought about during the time that's gonna happen. So what I did was I looked for a spot like maybe August, September during the time, and it was already a little bit. It was still crazy. It's restaurants, you had to still wear masks and stuff like that, and the work was like the casinos were open already during the time.
Yeah.
So like, okay, but still masks and 6 feet from each other and stuff like that. So I said, I'm gonna look for a spot. So when I got the spot in about October or November 2020, I had to renovate it, and I said, okay, we're gonna renovate the spot and stuff like that, and because I already had the mats.
Yeah.
So what I did was I rented the spot, and I told the 8 guys became 18 guys.
Okay,
right?
they come to your garage.
The garage. So the 18 guys, I told them I could pay if you guys would pay me. I could pay for the bigger spot if you guys would pay me to just train, to just do jiu-jitsu. I could pay for the spot if you guys pay me. And the whole 18 guys just say, yeah, man, let's go. We don't have to do it near a garage anymore. Let's just go. So I said, okay. I had a partner that was not a partner. He was the instructor of my gym that I got. So it's basically I told him that I'm gonna open, and he said, yeah, I just opened the academy. Yeah. So I opened the academy, and during the time, and then from December, as I opened it to sort of the public, or it was just invited guests.
Yeah.
We were not open for business. We were just open
Word of
for
mouth.
business, and then I kind of like got the permits and all that stuff, right? But we were not
Signing people up yet.
signing people up. No,
Yeah.
we were not doing that.
It was word of mouth, kind of like a private
Yeah.
club.
And then they were just giving just to pay for the rent. So
Yeah.
all right, let's go. So we did that, and then when 2021 already was kind of open already for business, and we had to get the city, the permits for the city and all that stuff. And then by February, 2021, we already had a lot of people coming in, and they was already a little bit more relaxed with the rules. So people started coming in there, doors and stuff. Yeah. Although there was still restrictions, but
Yeah.
yeah. So
Any of those 18 guys that used to roll with you in your garage, any of them still stay with you at the gym here now?
No.
They're all moved on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, a couple of guys, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, like, you know, jiu-jitsu, I'm sure you know this because you're a practitioner too.
Yeah.
You've been around the game.
Yeah.
You know? It's like it's always evolving. People relocate, you know.
They relocate, they jump around.
Yeah, they jump around.
Yeah.
Jump around. Like not just because they want another team, but some want another team. Some like relocate to another city or
Yeah.
other countries.
Mhm.
So we understand that. You know, I understood that, and I still understand that part of
Yeah.
the business or jiu-jitsu. So
This is the first gym I actually committed to. Prior to that, from like 2018
Yeah.
on, I just gym hopped to free gyms that would give me free practices or drop in fees. And
yeah.
like 5 years, I practiced with no real coach and no real belt. So this
Oh,
is
yeah,
like-
yeah,
This was the
yeah.
first gym I actually stayed at.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this is the one I'm
Yeah,
gonna start growing in.
Yeah, but you also started like here in the area, or where did you start your very first one?
Everywhere. So my very first one ever was in Temecula. It was at Team Quest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Vinny Megalaeus was the coach back then. But then like I said, I hopped around a lot.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
never really committed to one gym to go up in belts.
Until you came to
Yeah. And I started gi here. It was all no gi prior.
Oh,
It's like
okay.
pure no gi competitions, no gi at all.
yeah.
And then I finally did gi at 2023.
Wow.
I'll try it out. Put the
Good
gi on.
stuff, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
So you get the gym, you got the venue, you get the permits, you got a teacher.
Yeah.
From that point on, are you set to go, or is it more you had to do to get the gym rolling?
Well, basically, when you get all the legalities, all the you had the building checked already, all
Yeah.
that stuff, you know, you got the paperwork's done. So now you just have to kind of like market and, you know, advertise the gym, right?
Yeah.
So you do that, but you have to. Well, for me, I had a plan to do it. You know, I had the plan to kind of how to market it, how to advertise it after the pandemic, you know. So what I did was I actually put a light on the instructor.
Okay.
I own the gym,
Yeah.
you know. I own the gym. You know, in reality, you know, you live in the United States. You need to have capital in order for you to have business.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so I'm the one who had the capital. You know, nobody gave me a single cent just to
Yeah.
open a gym.
It was your investment.
Not even the instructor. You know, I hired you. Come over here. You're gonna work for me. You know. So that's the way. But I put the light on that person. You know?
Yeah.
Put the light on that person so that I could have, because I was a purple belt. You know.
Purple belt at the time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I needed that. So kind of like marketed it very well. You know.
Mhm.
And it kind of blew up. Although, given I had a good instructor, you know, good jiu-jitsu, you know, so, but, you know, the marketing part's never anybody else's. I was doing it my way, you know, I was just doing it according to my knowledge, you know.
Yeah.
There's nobody, the instructor can't even market himself, you know, so basically I just did that and put a light on that instructor during the time, and then it kind of blew up. You know, like everybody knew him in the area. Like, so you know, I was kind of at the back. You know, I told them, even the instructor, I told him when we were sitting down having business meetings and stuff, how are you going to do this? This is, you know, pandemic just happened. How are you going to do this? How are you going to pull this off? I told him during the time. I said, hey, man, if you think that all the kings of the world, since the world was created,
Yeah.
if you think that the king didn't have a kingmaker,
Yeah.
you're wrong.
Oh, yeah.
All kings
Get
had a
brought up.
kingmaker.
Yeah.
Whether it's media, whether it's the kingmaker a person,
Yeah.
there's always an energy that the king cannot be king without the kingmaker.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Even though, like, for example, you say mythical, right?
Mhm.
Without Merlin,
Yeah. No King
Arthur,
Yeah.
because he molded him, right?
Yeah.
talked to him a lot, his attitude, like all that stuff. So I told him, "You'll be king. I'm not king, but I'm a great kingmaker, bro."
Yeah.
So that's what happened, and everybody's like kind of like drifted into that, like, "Oh man, we got a good one right here." Yeah. So, but I understand that. I understand the concept of marketing a person or putting a light on somebody, right? So I did that during the time, and it blew up, man. From 18, it became 87 students, and 87 became 120 plus, 120 plus, doubled to 200 plus.
Yeah.
It was crazy, bro. Like, it was.
So you basically marketed you put the shine light on the instructor and grew the gym, brought attraction,
Yes,
and
yes.
the gym got pretty big.
Yes. It got pretty big, and then plus some of the secrets that I have with other stuff, I can't really.
Yeah, no,
divulge.
understandable.
It's business, yes, but yes, I kind of did that too. So
Okay.
yeah,
And then your lineage at that time.
my lineage during the time was Gracie lineage. Yeah.
Gracie lineage?
Gracie lineage. Yes.
And then who gave you your black belt?
I got my black belt from Alliance already. So Johnny Faria of Alliance San Diego gave me the black belt. But during the time when I was a brown belt, then I turned Alliance. I was training with Johnny like once, twice a week,
Yeah.
every week.
And how'd you meet Johnny?
No, because the cool thing, one of the coolest things was when, because my that original gym, the Gracie gym that I founded, right?
Yeah.
That I put, kind of broke up, right?
Yeah.
It broke up, and when it broke up, since I was a brown belt during the time, right? I just got my brown belt like after a month or two. The gym broke up, right? So when it broke up, kind of like, oh my gosh, what would I do? So I lost some of the students, right? And I said I was going to get a team. Right?
Yeah.
I was going to get a team. So when I did that, I researched all these teams, and then I found 3 that I was interested in. Right, I found 3 that I was interested in.
The
but
3 were those?
Because I have friends from Gracie Baja.
For the Gracie Baja?
Yeah, so
Okay.
Gracie Baja was like an option to that one. And then I have friends in Atos.
Atos, another big gym.
Another big gym. So they also talk to me. And then Fight Sports
Fight Sports. Okay.
in with Cyborg.
Yeah.
Miami. Yeah. So I had friends during the time that went to Fight Sports because they also opened an academy. So
Okay.
I had friends that went to Fight Sports, and Fight Sports is a great team,
Yeah.
great team. Mika Galvao was actually during the time
He was straight in there.
he was Fight Sports during
Okay.
the time. Yeah.
Okay.
So, so Fight Sports, and I said, man, I'm drawn to Fight Sports, and with Atos too. And then, but some of my students are like, oh man, Atos, you got to know Andre, but I didn't know Andre during the time, right?
Yeah.
So I was drawn to these 3, right? These 3, but I already knew that Gracie Baja was going to open, or it opened already in Redlands, right? So I said, man, so it's going to be in the area, 2 academies in Gracie Baja. Now you're competing.
You're
for-
not gonna like it. Yeah.
yeah, so I kind of like, okay, but not Gracie Baja, because I have friends. I really have friends from Gracie Baja, so that kind of told me they actually gave me the contact, and we actually talked about it too, during the time. So after that, my friends went to Miami, went Cyborg, and then there's a gym in Temecula that went with Cyborg. There's a gym in Hemet that went with Cyborg. They were all Fight Sports, so they went to meet Cyborg over there in Miami. And then I said, I want to do that too. So I flew over there, and then I went to Miami, and then met Cyborg. Man, I got a shout out Cyborg professor.
Cyborg.
Yeah, man, really great guy. Really great guy. So
Yeah.
I wanted to become Fight Sports during the time too. Well, my students, my friends during the time wanted to become Fight Sports, but me as a leader, I feel like I don't want to jump into.
A rash decision.
Yes, yeah, I have to. Like
Think about
I
it.
always calculate things. I
Yeah.
always like kind of think about and I trade for it and stuff like that. Not because fight sports is, I love fight sports, but when I make decisions, I need to kind of like have the options right there and then study everything, right?
Yeah.
So I went to Miami, spent time, had a great time there. And I wish that it would have lasted for a while because like have a great time with my some of my friends before there, and then I went back. But when we were there, true story, when we were there, my friend told me to text Johnny Faria. So he gave me the number, right? He gave me the number, and I said, okay, I will do it. But check this out. While I was texting Johnny, right? I said, hey, professor, my name is Sunny, I'm from Gracie, blah, blah, blah. I texted him while he was in Brazil during the time with Felipe Andrew, because Felipe Andrew was actually an Alliance before, and then, then he was with Johnny. So Johnny was coaching him during I think BJJ Stars or something, yeah.
Okay.
During the time. And man, I tell you this, Johnny Faria, man, texted back. I said, hey, brother, nice meeting you, but I'm in Brazil, so can we talk when I come back? While I was in Miami.
Yeah.
So now when Johnny texted, I said, now I got to give it a shot. And I got to talk to Johnny first before I make the decision
Yeah.
to do all these things and whatever team that I'm going to get for my students, for me and for my students. So I said, okay, I'm going to go back to Cali. I was really drawn to fight sports. I'm really like 80% maybe
Yeah.
to fight sports, right?
Yeah.
So we went back. Cut a long story short, we went back to California, and then I was still teaching classes and and all that stuff, and then I went to San Diego to meet John. Right, he scheduled to meet him while he was teaching class and stuff, and then just to look at how he teaches and all that. So I went there, watched him, and then after the class, he talked to me. Right, he talked to me, and we met. But Johnny Faria is a really great guy too.
Yeah.
So we connected right away. We just connected right away. Like, I want to follow this dude because we connect right. I connected with Cyborg too.
Yeah.
But now my mind is kind of split, right? Because Cyborg is a really great guy. He treated us well over there. And then Johnny, he's a great guy. I connected with him too. The only thing is, San Diego is
Way
closer
closer than Miami.
to
Yeah.
Miami.
So you made it the choice off of distance.
Distance, that's one of the biggest factors of
Yeah.
my decision, because I didn't want to just kind of like get a black belt from Cyborg. If I want to get a black belt from Cyborg, then I have to train with Cyborg, right? I don't want to get a black belt with somebody I don't train with.
Yeah.
Or at least for my belief, like that belt, it's not just a color, it's not just money, man. It's basically you have to have honor.
You hear that, Money Burke? Yeah.
So you have to train with that person in order for you. Man, I've seen a lot of black belts right now just getting black belts. Just you train a couple of times with the professor, they give you a black. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
It's just, it's not that. You need to train, talk to the person, not just, at least that was my belief. So
Yeah.
even if I wanted to get a black belt from Cyborg, it was very hard for me to go there every month at least. I
Yeah.
could not do that.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be unfair to him and unfair to myself. I'm just going to get a black belt from somebody I don't even train with just because I carry this logo, you know? So that was one factor. And I said, if Johnny's in San Diego, I could train there every week. I could train there, and all
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
I said, that was one. And then Alliance is a big team, you know that.
Save number one team in the world.
So Alliance is a big team. Johnny's good. Distance is good. So I met up with my boys, and I said, "Man, let's go for fights." All of them, not one. All of them.
They all not one wanted
They
Johnny.
wanted to go to Fight Sports because Mika Galvao is there. Cyborg, the name, And I decided I'm going with Johnny
Yeah.
and Alliance. I said, wherever you are, we're gonna support you. So, but you make the decision and we'll carry it.
Did you lose any people because of that decision? Did some people
No.
leave? No, they all
No.
stuck with you.
Yeah, they stuck with me. So, I went with Johnny. Called Johnny. I called Alliance in Brazil because I already have the contact number too. And I said, I'm going with you guys. How much is this? How much is franchise? All that stuff. So then I called Johnny. I said, Professor, I think I'm going to go under your wing, So I called Cyborg's manager during the time, out of respect, and I told
Let him
him,
know.
hey, man, I love you guys. I love you. I like to do it too, but it's just because of the distance, because of, the fees. Also, I was looking at the fees too.
Yeah.
Different fees. So, and plus my belt, and how am I going to get black belts if my students can't go over there too?
Yeah.
So I was looking into that, and then but Cyborg's manager, or the one managing his affiliates before, or he was really good too. So shout out to you. So
Yeah.
he's good about it, So we're still friends up to this day. I still talk to him and stuff like that, and I went to Johnny. So when I decided I was going to be Alliance, signed the contract, grew, and become Alliance. So now everything that Alliance did for me during the time, I mean, oh my gosh, man, Alliance was very helpful because they knew what happened in my other gym. I was from the Gracie and I become Alliance. That was really a transition, right? A transition, but it was really good. It was
Yeah.
really good.
From that point on, what do you like about running a gym that keeps you going? Like, why do you continue running a gym?
Well, for me, it's my passion and love. Jiu-jitsu is like my passion and love, So all of us, as we know it, like have one life, right? And I don't want. I tell my mom this. I tell my wife this. I tell my family. I don't want to waste my life doing something that I don't want to do,
Yeah.
right?
You want to work and not feel like it's work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Millions of people out there, I'm sure, that today, right now, they're cussing at the bus.
Yeah.
Right now. Right now.
That's somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere
trash
down
somewhere,
there. Yeah, no.
construction. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of people that do it because of fear of losing a car or
Yeah.
losing,
Not being able to pay rent.
Yes,
Yeah.
not being able to pay rent or not putting food on the table and stuff like that. And I understand that's how life is in general. But I told myself that I will never live a life that, one, as I know, that I'm going to work for somebody that tells me what to do.
Yeah. You want to be
And
your own
if
boss.
if I don't do it, then
Repercussions.
it's like, so I said, I'd rather do something that I love and I'm passionate about. And if ever, I don't wake up tomorrow or I don't wake up like 10 years from now, I could always have that, my family would always remember that
Yeah.
he did it his way.
Yeah.
So that's why I do the business part of jiu-jitsu, is because I want to do it. Plus, I get to also train students that would remember me, like because of that.
Yeah.
I understand you'll lose students. You
Yeah.
lose students, they go, I understand that part. That's why it's sometimes being a gym owner or instructor, it kind of hurts you when you're losing students, right? It hurts you that you've spent all this time and you thought that they're loyal and like that. But life happens, and I understand, not everybody would like your style or his style or my style. It's really, that's just how,
It's like finding a therapist. You want to find one you connect with.
yeah.
No,
I understand that part.
Yeah.
So that's why for me, when you lose students, they go over here, they don't like you. It doesn't matter. Even, it's religions, one God, other God,
Yeah.
it's even spirituality, it's the same thing, man.
Yeah.
Put it in a smaller scale in business or your craft. I shouldn't be
Yeah.
getting mad at that stuff, So yeah.
So we've talked about the good stuff, what it takes to get to the gym, why you got into it,
Yeah.
why you keep doing it. Now let's talk about some of the bad stuff about it. So what are some of the hurdles that you find in gym ownership? Like, what are some of the turmoil that you get in it?
Okay, well, with having a gym, right, you're dealing with a lot of personalities.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Almost every day, right? You're meeting people, parents, kids,
Yeah,
teenagers that are, teenagers now.
Stinger
Like,
butt
well,
sometimes,
teenagers in general think that they already know everything,
yeah,
right? So
yeah,
you got to deal with that. People with different culture and background, you got
Yeah.
to deal with that. People with different religion also,
Yeah.
right? You got to deal with that. Those are, I think, one of the biggest hurdles, in owning an academy, because if your intentions are good, you say it in the same tone as everybody else.
Yeah.
Same tone, same words, same tone, same intentions. But if you have 200, 300 students,
some people might get yeah,
understand it differently, and some understand it correctly. Some
Yeah.
would love it, some would hate it, some would not even.
it's like at a regular job. Certain cultures sometimes just clash, personalities clash all the time. Yeah,
So that's one of the major things that I actually kind of had a hard time with.
Yeah.
So other one is you can't really prevent it, right? But when you own a gym, there would be some little cliques.
yeah,
Oh my gosh! Up
Just like
to
at
this
work,
day, I'm still like, up to this day, I still say, okay, we're all the same. We're
supposed to be a family,
so-
but you still
yeah.
see some people stick to
Yeah.
their own.
Well, you can't stop it,
Yeah.
but at least you could kind of like share that. It shouldn't be that way, little splits and all that. So those are the things too. That's hard, right? One of the things that's hardest is also the politics in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
It's the politics of jiu-jitsu. It's like, it's very tribal,
yeah,
and
clan like, kind of like
clan,
Japan.
yeah,
Right.
It's very like that.
Yeah, evolved
Which I
from
don't
Japan, so.
live that way. I don't
Yeah.
really live that way. I don't like it. Personally, I don't like it.
I see it evolving.
Yeah.
You start to see things like the B team, and they're kind of,
Yes.
you get these cultural breakers, and you're starting to see that they're going away a little bit more from that tribalism and making it more just like more like MMA gym like or wrestling gym like, where it's more just like, screw your rank, screw the politics, screw the
Yes.
lineage. We're here to do the sport, and we love the sport. And we want to see a great fight.
Yeah.
It's like Dragon Ball Z. You want to see the guys going back and forth, and we want to see like cool moves.
It's good we have structure.
Yeah.
Right. You're organized, you have structure, everything, but the part on where, like, a certain third degree black belt, just an example, fourth degree black belt, or a second degree black belt, tells me what to post,
Yeah.
when to post, and how to post on my social media. For me, it's BS, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because, like, why would you tell me?
It's your gym. You're running it. Yeah.
You know? It's like, really, man? Like, come on. Like, they get mad because of that, you know? So that's one of the things that's, I find it weird. This is America, bro.
Yeah. No, understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, for example, one of the things I don't like about the politics in jiu-jitsu is, like, for example, if you're a nurse in life, right? In life, but you're a purple belt in jiu-jitsu, and there's like second degree black belt, third degree black belt. They'll give you all these things, right? For jiu-jitsu. But now if that second degree black belt or third degree black belt, it's just a third degree black belt and didn't even have their life made outside,
Yeah. No secondary thing. Yeah.
right? How are you going to react to that? Like, I'm a doctor, bro.
Yeah.
You're just a black belt. You know, it's like, you're going to tell me what to do? I mean, come on, bro. Like, I'm a doctor.
Yeah.
You need to tell me what to do? Man, you sell fish, brother. You know, so
Yeah.
you sell fish outside of here.
Yeah.
You may tell me what to do with a choke or like an arm bar, but don't tell me.
How to run your business. Yeah.
Or if I was a student, like how to
Yeah.
run my life. Like,
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
That's why I don't like that part of jiu-jitsu. Because some people are getting drawn to that, like, oh, pride and stuff like this. I have to follow the master. Like, man, only one master, guys. The one
Jesus
who created
Christ.
us, man. Yeah, there's only one master.
Yeah.
So that's one of the hurdles that I still, up to this day, kind of like see that, like, man, I wish it would not be like that. It's hard. It's hard for the business too, because now it's also hard because you're trying to be friends with everybody, at least, you know, be cool with everybody. you know?
Yeah. So that was a pretty good overview on your path
Yes.
and your opinions and perspectives on owning a gym, starting a gym, running a gym, conflict with the gym. So I think a lot of people out there who are thinking about opening a gym, who are currently running a gym, can, you know, at least see eye to eye with you and be like, yeah, I get those same problems.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's really good for people to hear.
Also, like, to add to, before we move on, like to add to, you know, those hurdles in a gym, you also have to make sure that the coaches of your gym are there for your culture.
Yeah, they're on board with your plan.
Because you own
Yeah.
the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Some coaches would tend to, like, I'm the best in this gym, I'm like this, I'm like that.
Yeah.
No, that is not the culture here. Make sure that the owner of the gym
Sets the tone.
sets the tone and, you know, has to have his own culture
Yeah, yeah,
for the whole gym, rather than hire somebody that will try to change the way the gym will be run. And now it's a chaos because now the energy is shifting to whatever.
Yeah.
Right? It has to be who owns it gets to decide, because this is a business. This is not a church.
yeah,
This is a business, you know? So those are the things that if you want to own a gym, that's very important. I could say that's very important, because if you have some, like I said, black belts and stuff like that, that would tell you, hey, that guy shouldn't, or this girl shouldn't be promoted, or let's promote this person or not promote this person, or some guy would just randomly, your black belts randomly just promote your students without you
yeah,
knowing it.
yeah,
That's very disrespectful to you as an owner. That's
Yeah.
very disrespectful to you if you're the head of,
coach. Yeah,
of the
yeah, understandable.
gym.
Yeah,
So those are the things that I've experienced that I will never accept in
Yeah.
my leadership, in my gym, because that's very important, especially to the ones that are planning to have. There's a lot of black belts out there that want to have their own gyms someday.
We know some of them, yeah.
Yeah, we know a lot of people, but if it's a chaos like that, then like one of our black belts in
Yeah.
Alliance said, I talked to him the other night. He's a second degree black. He said, "Bro, if we get that, goodbye, Felicia."
Yeah, understandable, yeah.
It has to be according to the culture of,
Yeah.
of the owner and the head instructor.
And until those guys open their own gym, they really don't
They
understand.
don't
Yeah,
understand.
no, understandable.
Yes.
All right.
You don't want everybody to like, have their opinions and like
And
have
conflicting cultures
Yes.
and even people
Yeah.
different rule sets thinking they can
Yeah.
do this when they can't. Yeah.
And one of the things is like very important too is if you want to own a gym, make rules. With my gym, I have rules. Certain rules that you
Yeah.
have to make.
Yeah.
In order for everybody to at least be in line with, or like at least some people would say, "Oh man, I'm a grown man. Nobody can tell you it." Then you can do that, but not in my gym.
Yeah. Understandable. Yeah.
You go to somebody else's gym that you can do whatever you want. You can say whatever you want. You could you can do that somewhere else, but not in my gym, not in my turf. It's like I go to your house and like
Tell you how things are gonna go.
You please take this lights out, man. Like
Yeah.
I don't like the lights here, bro.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Even with relationships, right?
Yeah.
Even relationships, like
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna bring you into my house and tell me how to run my
Yeah.
house. Yeah. Understandable. Yeah.
man. Yeah. So that's the thing there.
And so for anybody out there, I hope this helped you for if you intend to open a gym, kind of the how to do it and what to look out for. All right. So I thank Sonny
Thank you.
for talking about this and opening up
Yes.
to you guys. And up next, Sonny's going to show us his favorite move. All right.
Okay, so you're gonna grab both wrists. It's a no gi. If it's a gi, you gotta grab the sleeves. If it's no gi, you grab both wrists right here and open your guard. You can go for the De La Hiva, but you're gonna go to the other side right here, but it's still controlling both wrists so that you can't posture up. This other foot. Post it right here next to your butt. You're gonna push with this foot and kick with this other foot to get to the arm bar on this side, like this.
Nice. All right. All right, guys. If you guys like that, check us out on YouTube. Subscribe if you can. All right, please. Thank you.